Happy holidays and welcome back to the Nail Mist series. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to do these chrome blue winter nails. So let's just jump right into it. These are done with polygel, but in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a mini fill on this set that I did in my last video. If you're curious about all the products I'm using, they will all be linked in the description. And if you want to see the full tutorial for this red almond set I have on now, this is a really in-depth tutorial that I posted in my last video. I'll have that linked above. You can check out how I did the polygel nails from start to finish, prep, shaping, application, and everything. So as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a very mini fill. I don't even know if I would truly call it a fill, but what I'm going to show you is, when I'm wanting to change my design and it really hasn't been like 2 or even 3 weeks, and I'm really not ready to do like a full-blown fill, what I like to do is use builder in a bottle or builder gel to just add some structure and fill in any growth in the meantime. So the first step is just going to be removing your design. I'm using a fine grit sanding band. This is the 240 grit sanding band from Pana, using it at a pretty high speed with my Melody Susie e-file, about 8 or 9 RPMs. Just trying to keep the sanding band parallel to the nail and just removing that design. I'm not removing any structure, we're just removing the gel polish. Since I'm not removing any length or changing the shape, I think a fine grit sanding band works really well for this. And definitely be sure to use a dust collector and wear your mask, because look at how much dust there is just from removing that gel polish. So I'm just looking and trying to kind of assess which areas of my nails needed some more product. So definitely those 2 fingers. And I'm gonna be using Rosalind Builder in a Bottle. I really love this product. It comes in this really nice pink color. There's also a clear option that's available on Amazon, and I'll have it linked in the description. Now I'm just taking some Young Nail Swipe and making sure I remove all dust and any oils and just make sure we have a nice clean surface before we go in with our builder gel. But before we get into the Builder in a Bottle application, I'm just gonna apply some gel base coat. I'm focusing this on the cuticle area, which is where I'll be applying most of the builder gel, and just kind of lightly feathering it down. And I'm gonna do this on all 5 nails and then cure it in my nail lamp. So I'm gonna take the builder in a bottle and I'm gonna start by concentrating the product towards the cuticle area, because that's where the growth obviously is, and then I'm gonna kind of feather it down the rest of the nail, and I'm gonna do a layer on all 5 nails. Again, this is like a very mini fill, so you don't need a lot of product. We're just looking to add a little bit of strength, especially in that cuticle area. And I feel like the trick with builder in a bottle is you have to learn how to float the product. So what you want to do is you take a bead, you place it in that cuticle area, and you kind of feather it around in circular motions and then bring it down the rest of the nail. And then you can take your liner brush and clean up the cuticle area. So again, take a bead, work on top of the product, kind of float it, and then bring it down the rest of the nail. And you can also turn your nail upside down to kind of help level it out. And using the liner brush really helps kind of even out the product and kind of move it around to where you'd like it to go. And like I said, I didn't add a ton of product, so I just added a layer to each nail and then I cured it. I wiped off the sticky layer with some Young Nail Swipe, and now I'm just taking a sanding band, the same sanding band, going over the surface of the nail and the cuticle area, just making sure everything is nice and even. Again, we're not doing a ton of work here. We did most of the work when we did this full set in the last video, cleaning up that shape just a little bit with an 80 grit hand file, mostly bringing in those sidewalls just a little bit and cleaning up that round shape at the free edge. So at this point, you're probably wondering like, wow, that's it? And that is literally it. It shouldn't take a lot of time. It shouldn't take a lot of product. It should be very minimal. But now we have a much more fresh looking set of nails. Personally, I don't like to see much growth, especially if I'm changing a design. And I feel like that 1 week period is like the weird point where it's like, I'm not gonna do a full fill, because I don't have that much growth. So I feel like this is where this method works really well. So let's move on to nail art. That's always the most fun part. So after I cleanse and dehydrate with Young Nail Swipe, I'm going in with the Young Nails Protein Bond over the entire nail. And the reason I'm doing that is because we are actually gonna be polishing the entire nail today. So yes, you can absolutely apply gel polish over the entire nail, whether it's with builder gel or polygel. You can totally do that. Some like to use a base coat before they apply the gel polish, but I don't personally find that I need that. I feel like the primer, if you're really worried about chipping, helps a lot with that. So I would recommend using the Young Nails Protein Bond. That's what I personally use, and I find my gel polish lasts pretty long. So we are taking Ready Set Ski from Madame Glam. This is a really nice blue color. I've been using this a lot this year, and I am basically polishing the entire nail. If you struggle with polishing, you're not alone. I find it still really difficult to do, but what I like to do is start by polishing the entire bottom half of the nail and then working my way up the cuticle and then taking a liner brush and cleaning up the cuticle area as needed. So that's what I'm doing here. You definitely want to be careful and be sure not to get any product on the cuticle. So this is where a liner brush really helps to get close to it, but still make sure you have a pretty nice clean look. And you can take a lint-free wipe and just swipe it under the nail if there's any excess gel polish. I don't often polish over the entire nail, but it's something I'd like to try more because I have so many gel polish colors. So anyways, once I do a layer with each nail, I cure that and then I apply a top coat because we're gonna be doing chrome powder over this. So I'm applying a top coat over the entire nail. We're gonna cure that, and then we're gonna take this Aurora chrome powder from, I believe it's Pretty Diva Nails. It's on Amazon. I use this chrome powder a lot, so I'll have it linked below. Once your top coat is fully cured, super easy, just take the applicator and work it into the nail. Definitely put some pressure into this. I find that I have to put quite a bit of pressure just to get like a nice even look, but it always comes out super nice. So we're going for like a chrome wintry look, so I wanted to just apply this over all the nails. So I'm just gonna continue using that applicator and working it into the entire nail. And then we'll clean up the cuticle areas after and then fully cure all 5 nails before we apply another layer of top coat to seal that in. So here is how the nails are looking. You can see it made a pretty cool effect. So I believe with different colors you're gonna get a different effect, so try it out and see how you like it. And now we're gonna go in and do our nail art. So I'm taking some Perfect White gel polish from Madame Glam and a large dotting tool and creating a large circle in the center. We're gonna be doing a 3D ornament. So you can take any color, whatever color you want to do, just draw a circle as the base in the center, and using a dotting tool really helps with this, and then you can take a liner brush and clean up the edges as needed. We're gonna do some mix and match white nail art, some ornaments, some icicles, a Christmas tree. So yeah, it'll just be like a mix and match set. I mostly just wanted to do like a blue chrome nail set with like some white details. So that's what we're going for today. Go ahead and cure that white gel polish. Then we're gonna take some rhinestone glue from a cart and we're putting down a thin layer at this point. So we're gonna keep it thin and we're gonna leave it uncured because we're gonna add these kind of, I don't know, are they like confetti, glitter, mylar? I don't know, but they're from Michaels and they have like different like shapes in them. So anyways, they're kind of like holographic, iridescent, whatever you wanna call it. So I'm just taking a brush and placing it in that builder gel that we haven't cured yet. And I'm trying to kind of concentrate it towards the bottom because we're gonna try to create kind of like a little bit of a gradient, but just kind of make it look like, you know, there's something in the ornament. You can place whatever you'd like in the middle if you'd like to draw something, whatever you'd like to do. Once it's to your liking, go ahead and fully cure it and take some more of that Macart rhinestone glue. We're gonna take a larger amount and we're basically gonna build a 3D kind of circular shape. This doesn't need to be too large, but I basically take a large bead, place it in the center, and then kind of start working it towards the sides until we get like a round 3D shape that's, you know, kind of looks like an ornament basically. We're gonna fully cure that. Now we're gonna draw like the string to the ornament, right? That's the term. And then we're gonna take that white gel polish and draw small ribbons And we're gonna keep this pretty small, just drawing like the 2 looping pieces at the end, and then taking that white gel polish and drawing some kind of white snow, you know, icicle type effects. Looks kind of like frosted, I guess, on top of the ornament. You don't have to do this, but I just like adding little details like this. Like once I get started, I always want to add more. So anyways, I really like how this turned out. And then we go ahead and cure that. And then I'm just gonna add some like details at the bottom. It's just like some fun line work. So just drawing some diagonal lines. I'm doing this with a white liner gel because it's thicker, so I'm able to draw more precise lines that way. Now the Christmas tree. We're gonna take perfect white again, and we're gonna start drawing these kind of thick lines that go up in like a triangle shape. Leave them uncured. Take that same vintage chrome gel paint from Madame Glam. Try to make sure these are pretty thick because we're gonna drag them all together towards the end. So I'm drawing lines in between, again, trying to make sure they're pretty thick and trying to keep the length of them more or less the same, so it starts to create kind of the triangle, you know, shape of a Christmas tree. So we'll just continue filling that all the way up and make sure you leave everything uncured at this point. And then we're gonna drag our brush through it. So this is why you want it uncured, so it kind of all blends together. And you can see it's kind of creating like a Christmas tree, kind of abstract looking. And while it's still uncured, I'm just gonna go ahead and feather out those edges to create more of like the Christmas tree type branches, you know, just coming out of both sides. Don't worry about this looking too perfect. It'll all come together in the end. And I think like the 2 contrasting colors helps it a lot. So once it's to your liking, go ahead and draw the bottom of the tree and cure that. And that is like a super simple way to draw a Christmas tree with like any colors of your choice. For the thumb and the pinky, we're gonna do that like same line work with the white liner gel with the kind of the crisscross lines. So I think just draw them in any diagonal way that you'd like them to be. I usually like to draw a line and then go over it again if needed, if I want to make it thicker or add more product. So we'll do that on the thumb and the pinky and cure that. And the last nail, we're gonna draw some icicles. So we're gonna start by drawing a kind of upside down U shape at the top, covering the cuticle area, but staying away from the skin. Then we're gonna start bringing that down and basically drawing like these icicle shapes. You wanna round out those kind of connecting pieces between. That'll help it look more like, you know, like hanging icicles. And then start dragging it down and try to make the edges, the ends of them kind of more pointed and narrow. That'll also kind of help create the icicle look. And then I'm just making these like different lengths. Again, this doesn't need to look perfect. Icicles are not perfect. So just try to make like different lengths, and I think it should all come together in the end. And then again, try to make kind of the ends a little bit more pointed. Fill in all the connecting pieces. And then I'm just taking a dotting tool and drawing some snow. And that is the full tutorial. Once we cure this, we're just gonna add our Coupa gel top coat. So not a super long tutorial, just wanted to share like how I maintain my sets in between, you know, doing like major fills, you know, using the builder in a bottle, and just do some fun winter chrome nail art. So I hope you enjoyed. All products will be in the description. I have a bunch more polygel and nail art tutorials on my page that you can check out. If you have any requests or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.